Okay, this tutorial, we're going to be talking about composition and composition, especially in web page design, photography, and also video. And it all starts out with the golden ratio. And for those of you that are mathematically inclined, um, if you go to Wikipedia, it explains the theory here, or how to find the golden ratio. And it reads, in mathematics and the arts, two quantities are in the golden ratio if the ratio between the sum of those quantities and the larger one is the same as the ratio between the larger one and the smaller. And that golden ratio is approximately 1.618, etc. You could also, it tells you how they arrived at that golden ratio, but I think all you need to know is that you can bisect a line using the golden ratio by dividing the length of the line by 1.62. And really what you come up with is pretty close to a third here. So, well, just so you see here kind of the history, it's really interesting that been used in architecture, art, even Leonardo da Vinci used the divine proportion. It's been suggested that it was used for the Mona Lisa, and it's been used in all kinds of different things. So what does this mean to us? Well, if we simplify it, we can just say that we're talking about roughly a third, dividing into thirds. So that leads us to something a little more practical that we're using, is the rule of thirds. So what I did here, so we can talk about composition, is I made a comp page for you. A comp page is what you would show your client, and we'll take our grids here in Photoshop and we'll divide our composition into thirds. Kind of a tic-tac-toe pattern here is what we'll get. And I made it 9 inches so that we can see that right there. And then from there, we'll divide that up again and cut those thirds evenly in half. And so that will give us this grid that we can design our comp around. And so we've made up links, we've made up a body, copyright part, a title, and a logo. And that way we can experiment, we can show our client kind of what we have in mind. The most prominent on the internet would be to put, of course, our body, our text kind of here, and then we'll take our links and move those sort of next to our text here, maybe aligned a little better. And let's make that a little larger. Something like that, just so it lines up. And then we'll take our logo, a little lion, put up here in the upper corner, and of course our title is going to be lined up here, another third. So as you can see, we have a third here lined up, and then another third comes down. We'll move that down a little bit more, our body down a little bit more, maybe, or up. Like up is what we want to do. Move everything up. And there's our most kind of standard way to do it, following the rule of thirds. And we'll see that probably 75% of the web pages will be like this that you'll design. But then we can play with that because we don't always want to have left alignment. We don't want to always have our title in the same place and this and that and the other. So we can experiment from there. Let's say we want to take our links and maybe we don't want this to be here. Maybe we don't want a background. We can kind of keep it like that. Keep it up there. Let's take another design element here. Oops. Sort of Web 2 kind of stuff where you've got this bar on the top. A more clunky kind of look to what you're doing. Oops. Call that 2 for Web 2. And like that. And there we go. That's another possibility. And then again, that might not be working for us. So let's say we want to take our links. Let's pull our copyright down. Pull everything down now. Pull our body down. And take our links. And since we have this nice little gray up here, let's take that gray down. Oops. That gray down here. Change it around a little bit. That like that. Now that's going to make our logo. Probably want to put that down a little bit. Oops. Along with our title. Once again, I'm going to kind of line that up here and just experiment. That's what's fun about web page design. You just kind of play with it. And of course, you'll have all these mock-ups done for your client before your client arrives. You wouldn't want to be caught playing around. And also, you want to make sure your client kind of knows that you know what you're doing. There we go. And maybe bring the title over a little bit further and line everything up. There's another possibility. And then if you're adventurous, you could put your links on the other side. Let's see what that would look like. Let's take our body, put it over here. Take our links, put them over there. Like this. And then, of course, that's going to make us want to put our title somewhere else. This way, lined up right, kind of right justified. And our logo. Perhaps we want to put our logo over here. And see, we can move things around, and that's what's nice about having everything in Photoshop in different layers to do our comps. You might also just want to work on paper to start out with. And so there we go. Here's a bunch of different ideas that you can use for composition.